Welcome, everyone. My name is Chris, and I'm the sales manager from Vibrant Technology Solutions Corporated. And this morning, we have this webinar for you. It's entitled Unlocking Efficiency: How Industry Leaders Streamline Construction with Tekla. And we have two esteemed guests right now. Their cameras are open, and we'll be welcoming them. I'll be introducing them. They'll be sharing very important information regarding the construction industry, regarding our solution. But before that, I'd like to show you a short video to introduce our company, Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated. And please give us a few minutes for this primer.
Vibrant. Vibrancy is a concept that is deeply ingrained in the building and construction industry, evoking progress, growth, and innovation. We are Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated, drawing inspiration from this dynamic spirit. The founders of Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated set out to revolutionize the construction industry with a bold vision and a commitment to harnessing the power of technology in construction. Since our inception in 1999, Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated, also known as VTS, has been relentlessly and effectively channeling opportunities to our customers to grow and succeed. We are the sole reseller of Tekla Solutions by Trimble since year 2000. As the sole reseller of Tekla Solutions by Trimble, VTS offers a comprehensive range of cutting-edge products and services to the building and construction industry. Our solutions include Tekla Structures, Tekla TEDs, Tekla PowerFab, Tekla EPM, Tekla Structural Designer, SketchUp Pro, and Trimble Connect. We also provide solutions for enhanced project visualization through augmented and mixed reality. Our solution for AR and MR includes XR10 with HoloLens 2 and Trimble Connect AR. VTS is the only authorized training and Tekla professional certification center in the Philippines. In addition, we also provide linear construction material optimization solutions. We offer Radon Systems, CP Manager, and AutoNest so that construction leaders can optimize their material usage, minimize waste, and streamline their production processes. Overall, we are entrusted by Trimble Inc. with the sales, marketing, business development, and technical support across Trimble's building solutions portfolio. We are one of the leaders of this technology. We at VTS believe that customer engagement and enjoyment are just as important as delivering top quality solutions. We take pride in channeling opportunities and in fostering a strong sense of community amongst our clients. At the heart of our business, we place a strong emphasis on cultivating meaningful relationships with both our existing and new clients. Our commitment to customer service is unwavering, and we take pride in providing easy-to-approach local support that is always reliable and transparent. Our goal is that when people think of Tekla Solutions, they immediately think of VTS, a trusted partner and industry leader that is dedicated to helping our customers achieve their goals and reach new heights of success. Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated, channeling opportunities. Tekla Solutions by Trimble. Still different, but always better.
again. Good morning once again. And that was the short video presentation for the introduction of Vibrant Technology Solutions Incorporated. Now we're going to start with our actual webinar, and I'm very happy again. My name is Chris. I'm part of Vibrant Technology Solutions as the sales manager. And this morning we have two esteemed guests. So we hope that you are. Warm, comfortable, even if it's raining outside. It's also cold in Australia, where one of our speakers, her team is coming, and I was hoping also that China would have a good weather today because Leo is with us. But before that we start with the actual webinar, allow me to lay down the ground rules for this webinar. So during the webinar, we'd like to request that our microphones be muted during the presentation, most especially to minimize background noise and ensure everyone can hear our speaker clearly. Please engage via chat. If you have questions and comments, just drop it in the chat box anytime, and we'll address as many as we can during the Q&A at the end of the session. Stay focused, and to get the full value of this webinar, we encourage you to minimize distractions, and together we'll just dive into all the presentations that we're going to deliver this morning. This webinar is going to be recorded, so you don't have to be writing notes because we'll be happy to provide you with the recording and even the slides, all the slides that are going to be used for this presentation. So I guess that's it, and we can probably start this webinar already. Again, the title of the webinar is How Industry Leaders Streamline Construction with Tekla. And allow me now to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is an experienced channel manager in the technology sector, building profitable routes to the APAC market for international vendors. He is experienced in sales management and execution and in channels management and operations. With extensive experience in channel sales and strategic partnership across the Asia Pacific region, our speaker has held key roles in global technology companies. And currently, he is serving as a strategic partner manager at Trimble Inc., and he is driving partnerships and business growth in the construction and technology sectors. His career reflects a strong track record in technology driven sales, partner management, and business expansion across APAC. Please welcome our first speaker, Sir Tim Schroder, the Strategic Partner Manager for APAC Indirect at Trimble Architectural and Engineering Construction field. Sir Tim?
Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate that introduction. Let me just share my slides. I think you should be able to see my slides now, Chris, so let me progress. Well, good morning, everyone, and it's great to be here. I'd first of all like just to thank VTS as our partner of more than 20 years selling our Tekla products in the Philippines. Partnership is what it's all about, and without strong partners, it is very difficult to be as successful as we have been. And so thank you, VTS, for everything that you've done. As I said, my name is Tim Schroder. I'm the APAC Strategic Partner Manager. I manage a suite of products from South Korea down through Philippines, Vietnam, Hong Kong, Taiwan, including Australia and New Zealand. And I'm based in Sydney, in Australia. And those products include not only the Tekla product suite, but also SketchUp, the Vista ERP solutions, JobPack, Bid to Win, and Project Site. So a number of products, a number of portfolios, but all focused in the construction industry. And that's part of what Trimble is very focused on. And let me show you my agenda slides so you can get an idea of the things that I'm going to talk about today. There's really three things that I want to do. The first one is I want to share with you what Trimble's vision is. What are we trying to achieve and where we're going and where we've been? The second piece, I'll just cover on a few of the construction challenges. Now, these come mostly from our USA surveys, but they are very applicable to almost every country that we play in. This doesn't change across the world. And then the third one is I want to talk about Connect and Scale, which is Trimble's overarching vision. And it's about connecting not only people, but workflows and the digital designs of construction. So hopefully those three will be interesting. Chris, I'd like you to keep me on point. I know I've only got about 30 minutes, so if I'm going too slow, please tell me to hurry up. But let me dive in. So if you think about Trimble, we're about a 40-year-old company, just over that now, and we started back as a GPS technology company. That was the starting point for where Trimble was. Back then, obviously, GPS was never as accurate as it is today. And we've moved from being something in the 40 to 50 meter range back then, right down to centimeter level accuracy today, with gives us very great productivity optimization. And if you think about GPS, whenever you start a building project, it all starts from that first peg in the ground that says this is where we start from, and everything is measured from there. Well, now the world is a digital world, and so GPS technology is what gives us that first point to start from. And you'll see that having a known starting point and then everything being measured off that in the digital world, not only in the design and in the model, but in the real world, gives you great optimization and speed to market in terms of delivering on a project. If I just explain briefly what Trimble does, we actually have three core divisions. And if you look at the slide on the right, the section on the right, you'll see transportation and logistics. And we're not going to talk about that today, but you can see very clearly that in that business unit, GPS was a very important piece because we manage transportation and shipping systems around the world. And knowing where people's freight is a critical piece to that. So hence that GPS link very strong in that partner. But the two we're going to talk about today really are the left-hand two columns, the AECO, which stands for Architectural, Engineering, Construction and Owner, and Field Systems. And these two come together to give us the solutions that we take to market for the construction field. It's about designing the model through the whole phase of the project, as well as using our field systems solutions, the hardware we have, in market and in the field to speed up the operation of delivering on a project. So the AECO and field systems solutions are what I'm going to talk about today. And that's very focused on the whole construction, not only vertical construction in terms of buildings, but also a horizontal and civil work, which go to become the groundworks behind any building we build. Now, I'm also going to talk about our focus on what we call connected construction. And this is a way of taking all of the data and all of the people and connecting everything together as you build a project. In the left-hand column, you will see physical to digital. And this is where we take the real world and can scan it and pull it in to become part of our digital world. So that's normally the first step, but it happens all the way through the project cycle as well. We then have the digital back to the physical world. Once you've designed your model, you want to be able to take it back into the real world and see if it's designed correctly, if it fits in the right place, and that it needs modification before being built. And with both of those, we also then need some collaboration. And so connected construction is not only digital to physical and physical to digital, but it's also connecting the people, the workforce, all of the people who are working on that project so that they can collaborate on the model, they can provide feedback on the model and in the build cycle to make sure that the project is delivered on time and on budget. So these three pillars are very critical to our connected construction, and it's a very strong focus for everything that Trimble does. We believe that Trimble is very unique in this world in that we provide both the hardware and the software, the physical and the digital, where many other competitors, partners and peers in the industry cannot deliver this. So we are quite unique, and we ask you to look at what VTS can share in terms of knowledge and skills around our complete portfolio of products to help you build complete digital solutions. We also have a very broad range of solutions They're not all sold in the Philippines. They're sold, some are specifically sold in only the US, some are sold only in Australia, etc. But the idea is that we have this very broad portfolio which connects all of the tasks that are required in a construction site, from the design stage, the planning stage, the building stage, as well as the managing of that asset once it's completed and handed over to the owner. And that's our focus. And we call that Trimble Connected Construction to cover that whole region. We also know from our surveys of our customers, when we talk to them about this connected construction philosophy, that there are key benefits that they gain. And you can see some of those on the screen here. From a productivity perspective, it's 20+% productivity increases. There's savings in cost as well, because we shorten the timelines, we make the project run quicker, and we save on material. We also boost machine productivity because of having that digital connectivity from our design models to our fabrication plants and to CNC machines. That speeds up machine productivity and also reduces waste. And it's also less rework because everybody's on the same page. They know what they're doing. They know what they need to deliver. So a critical piece there in terms of why connected construction is important to us. I want to now talk about the second point here, which is the construction challenges. And these are very similar across the world in many countries. And this starts about being a challenge because there are so many players in any one construction project. I'm sure many of you have had so many subcontractors and owners and designers and architects and landscape people involved in any one project that keeping them all on the one page is a challenge, and that creates time delays and issues moving forward and making sure that we build what we need to build. But in all of our surveys, when we survey all of our customers and all of these different people who are in the construction world, it comes down to these 6 topics that we believe are critical in construction. And everyone says that they're very similar across the world. The first one, which started really around the COVID times, was a shortage in labour. That continues today here in Australia, and we know it's still happening in the US, and I would say between many of you, it's still happening in the Philippines. Technology is becoming a key piece, and if you're not using all of the technology that is available to you, you will normally run over budget and over time. The third point here is many owners are wanting to build eco-friendly buildings. And that means that your software needs to understand the embodied carbon in its design. And you need to be able to show that you're building in the most efficient and environmentally friendly way. Obviously, economic pressures are on all of us, and they've been here for a long time, and they're not going away anytime soon. We need to build efficiently. We need to shorten our timelines. We need to make sure that we don't waste material. The fifth one is actually interesting because it's seeing construction through a new lens. And it's about thinking about new technologies and how they can help us in that construction cycle. And I know Leo, in his presentation, will talk about some of the new features in Tekla, but also the integration with other broader Trimble products. And of course, mental health is a critical issue in all of the construction industries. We need to have that as a dialogue. Every human resources manager we talk to has this as a challenge in their construction industries. And we need to think about it and make sure that we support the people in our industries to make sure that they are well supported. So you can bring those factors down into really 3 key areas: people, process, and technology. And where we sit is in the process and technology sides, where we help to drive process improvement and improve workflows. Because if you can run a full digital end-to-end workflow, it becomes much more efficient and it improves those processes. Let me show you another bit of research we did. This chart talks about the frequency and impact of the root causes for delays on a project. Now, it's a bit hard to understand in that form, but let me just highlight a couple of key pieces. If you have issues in the top right-hand corner, the bad corner as I like to call it, this is, you can see on the right, dots blue, the blue dots 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you have high frequency and high impact, they cause problems and delays. And you can see the 4 that I've highlighted there: project documentation, project drawing, subcontract management, and that's the connectivity between the people, and then also managing change management. How do you do RFIs? How do you put through a project change? So if you can minimize those, and this is all about sharing data through a common data environment and having everyone on the one page, that you can speed up your process. And that's what Trimble Connect does in some way, is it helps you speed up the project and keep everyone on that same page. There's another one that I like to point out here, which I've put in the red box, is how do you improve your digital workflows and increase the efficiencies? We know that digital workflows help people increase their communications between multi-companies. And I would envisage that many of your projects have many, many companies involved. And if you can speed up that process to be more efficient, it's a saving of time and money in your project. So the important thing that we feel is very valuable to every construction project is thinking about where we've come from and where we're going to. We all worked in the 2D CAD space originally, then BIM came along to give us some building level data. But what we like to talk about is something that's truly constructible. We have something that is designed at the highest level of design, at level 400 or 500, so that every single flange and nut and bolt is actually in the diagram. You have real construction level data in your model, and it allows you to build out and speed that information flow to all of the subcontractors on the project. This is a critical piece to designing a truly digital solution. And we know that having constructible BIM saves time and money. From our surveys of our customers, we see that up to 70% reported decrease in requests for information during construction. We see a decrease in material waste because everyone knows what they're doing. They know what they've got to design and build. And also, this is a very interesting point, that we see a reduction in reportable safety incidents. On every building site today, we see signs that says 100 days of safe construction. It's a critical metric that people want to know that you can build in a safe way and respect the people on your work site. So I briefly touched on the common data environment, and this is a critical piece for sharing data between the different users on a project, whether they be inside your company or outside as a contractor, or whether they be the owner who wants to have visibility of the project as it's going ahead. But having a common data environment is a key piece to making sure that everyone is on that same page. And the other one, when I talked about new technologies, using products like Trimble Site Vision, allowing you to take the digital model on site and view it in situ to see, has it been designed correctly? Are there any clashes? As we build through the construction cycle, are we not having any clashes, and we've got a good QA, QC control process in place? So these new technologies are available right now, and people should be considering how you take them and embed them in your project from start to finish. So I've given you a little overview of the trends that we're seeing in that construction space and understanding those construction challenges. I'd like to move to the third part of my presentation, which talks about connect and scale and the workflow of that. By connect and scale, it's how we connect everyone on a project and how do we scale that to be more efficient in terms of delivering the project for the owner. And so I'm going to use an example of connect and scale in a particular site we built here in Australia. And it was a very small project, and every one of these projects could be different. But the idea is to show you what are all the steps in a workflow scenario that lets you stay digital throughout the whole work site so that everyone stays in a 3D environment and in a digital world. I'm going to give you an example of a hotel extension we built here in Sydney, in Australia, for the Ridges Hotel. You can see the driveway here going in under the hotel, and they decided to build a mezzanine level cafe above the driveway. So that's what this scenario is going to be about. And it talks about the stages of the construction. You can see here we've got 6 stages, but there may be only 4. Sometimes there may be 10 stages in a construction project. And you can see at the bottom of this slide the different Trimble products that we used all the way through the project to stay connected so that everybody knew what they were doing. So I'm going to just step you through each of these steps. But before I do, we actually also made a video of this when we were bidding for the customer. Once we got the first request for quote, we then built a video to say, this is what we're going to run. And so we showed the owner the point cloud we'd scanned. We showed them the design and how it would come together with the structural steelworks and the concrete. We then showed them what the cafe would really look like. And was this going to envisage their vision? Is this what they wanted to build? And in doing that, the customer could really say to us, yes, that's exactly what I want to build through what you're doing. And we could take them on that journey. And it's about taking them on that journey, which is really critical to them buying in and you winning more business. Now, we start off with measuring up the site because we already had a site. Obviously, we went in there with our Trimble X9 scanner. We create a point cloud, so we never have to go back to site. We then have the point cloud in a digital form. We didn't take a tape measure in with us. We measure up the site completely digitally, and it allows us to then have every measurement that we possibly need for the project to be designed off-site. Now, it's interesting. A scanner like that creates a point cloud. It looks like a model, but it's not. It's just a series of point vertices in a 3D coordinate system. And this is where sometimes it's confusing for an owner to say, hey, you created a point cloud, is that the model? Well, no, it's not. The model is designed in a 3D modeling tool like Tekla and SketchUp, but the two can come together to really help speed up that process and understand what the base landform looks like before we move through the project. So having scanned the design and scanned the building, we then move to that architectural design phase. There's always an architect involved to make sure that the design is as what the customer is really looking forward to. In the Trimble world, this means using SketchUp. It is the most used 3D software in the world. It's incredibly simple, but incredibly complex in all of its deliverables. It's easy to use, it's very low cost, and it allows us to show a model and share a model to an owner to say, hey, is this exactly what you're expecting in that design phase? SketchUp's not one product, it's a whole ecosystem. There are all sorts of pieces to the SketchUp ecosystem that help you and your architects pull a solution together. As an idea, excuse me, there's SketchUp extensions as well. Here we're using the handrail tool. It helps us when we are building that mezzanine level to very, very quickly build the handrails around the outside of the cafe they're trying to build. It's very automated, it's very quick. If the owner says, no, I don't want 3-foot high railings, I'd like them much taller, we can very simply go in, edit through the extension, change that, and make them much higher. So it's a very quick integrated tool that SketchUp allows you to really engage with your customer and owner as to what they're designing for the conceptual design phase. SketchUp also has a fantastic 3D warehouse. To show them what it's really going to look like, you can pull in all of these models that are out there, thousands and thousands of models that you can pull into your solution to show the customer what it's really going to look like in terms of furniture, lighting, fixtures, etc. There's also some other great extensions for helping with the construction phase. This particular animator, this particular extension keyframe, is very much loved by the safety officers on site, where they can explain where equipment is going to be stored, where the crane is going to be moving, where is it safe for people to be. This is part of the education of the project owners and project deliveries, so that everybody understands exactly where it is safe. Just another extension that happens to work well with the overall end-to-end construction solution. SketchUp also does construction sequencing. So when you're designing and you're having to explain to the lorry drivers where materials need to be brought in, where stuff is going to be stored on site, this construction sequencing allows everyone to know the full picture. And it's all obviously in a digital environment. So this all sits in the cloud. Everyone can see all of the information when they need it. I talked about Trimble Connect. Obviously, that's our repository of where all of these digital models go to. They are all stored there. Everyone with the right security and access can get access to them. So we now move from the architectural design phase to the structural design phase, right? We've got the model. It's been signed off by the end customer. We now have to do some structural steel detailing or concrete formwork. I'm not going to dig into this very much because we're going to have Leo talking about it, and Chris, I believe, talking about it as well. But Tekla Structures is our key and premier product for steel and concrete design work. So I'll leave that for Leo to talk about shortly. But once you've got your steel structural model designed, the next piece of obviously the digital workflow is the fabrication plant. And the Trimble product that we use here is Tekla PowerFab. Now, Tekla PowerFab in the fabricator's plant connects the purchasing teams, the project management teams, the shop floor teams. In fact, everyone in there can be engaged. They can pull in an IFC model from Tekla Structures. They know what's got to be built. They can schedule the steel fabrication into the plant floor. They can schedule the costings through the quote systems that's engaged in Tekla PowerFab, so that that gives them complete control of their fabrication plant, and they see in real time changes to the Tekla Structures. So if the designer is still making changes to certain beams or connectors, that flows directly through into the Tekla PowerFab model. Again, all digital, everyone's on the same page at all times. So after fabrication, we move to quality assurance. Again, now we go back on site. We want to make sure that the model that we've designed, and normally before we start building, is actually working. And this is where we start to use products like Trimble Site Vision. You run it on a tablet or a phone. You can take the model on site and then view the model directly where it should be in situ to see if it's going to fit, to see if there are clashes, and to ensure that the model has been designed correctly. You can see in this particular video, we've downloaded the model. The tablet knows where it is by, excuse me 1 second, let me end that call. My apologies. And the video you can see here is on the tablet, looking at the model in situ. You can change its transparency to see if there are any clashes with the real world columns that are already there. And we know that what we've designed then fits very well. This is also very much a great sales tool that I suggest everyone use. You actually engage your owner with this sort of technology, because then they can see in real world situations exactly what you're building for them, and they buy into it very quickly. So it's a great solution to take and share with not only the workers on site, but also with the owners. So after quality assurance, we move to construction and set out. This is where we start to use another one of Trimble's products, the Trimble RI Total Station or Layout Station. I'll have another video, which I'll just show you. And this is where we put the RI station in the driveway, where we are now building the cafe above the floor. The layout station saves you working with tape measures to decide where do you start drilling bolt holes for the new construction cycle. It helps you take the digital model and lay it out into the real world. What the layout station will do is we can load that model again, and it's obviously has a GPS connector in it, so it knows where it is positioned. We then load up the model. We can check that the model we just looked at in the site vision is positioned in the same spot as where it should be and where the total layout station is telling us. You can see now as we remove the transparency, we see that little red laser dot appearing on the bottom of the floor. We put the piece of paper there just to show the laser dot because it didn't appear very well in the video. But the idea is that you can then cross-check that all of the drill holes, all of the points that need to be modified are ready to roll, and that the layout station can help you speed up that whole process. Now, at the end of that, and in fact, this happens all through the whole project, is that the ERP solution that everyone has today runs across the whole project. Trimble makes a number of ERP projects. They're not sold in every country. The product we sell here in Australia and America is called Trimble Viewpoint Vista, and you can see that in the middle of the screen there. It connects into the Trimble PowerFab, so it knows the costings. Trimble Viewpoint is a full ERP solution for HR, payroll, purchase orders, costs, inventory, project management, etc. And so we can digitally connect the whole workflow from SketchUp through Tekla PowerFab into the back-end ERP solution, as well as controlling the models and working out how everything connects together. So that's a critical piece that is available in our solutions. So what I've tried to do very quickly, and every project will be slightly different because you sometimes won't be scanning because you'll be starting on a bare earth landform, but sometimes you will be using it. Every project is going to be different, but this gives you a little bit of an overview of what connected construction means. And my three takeaways are, number one, is that you should try to stay in the digital world and in the 3D world for as long as possible in every project. Sure, you sometimes need to export to 2D and submit them for government authority and government approvals, but living in 2D is much more difficult than living in a complete 3D world because people just understand 3D natively. The second point I'd suggest is that make sure that you design to the highest LOD or level of design possible. By having as much detail in your model, and that's what Tekla Structures gives you, you have capability to reduce the number of RFIs or requests for information from your subcontractors. And the third one is obviously leverage a CDE, a common data environment. That's critical to keep everybody on the same page. So with that, I will close. I will say thank you again to VTS. This has been a 20 or more year partnership. We are really appreciative of VTS and all they do in the Philippines. And I thank them for everything that they're doing. And with that, I will say thank you. And Chris, I shall pass back to you.
Thank you very much, also, Sir Tim. And I think the 3 points that you just gave us at the end of your presentation is very much the key, and that's where we want to go. And I think that's a very good also goal for all the construction companies here in the Philippines to be staying and doing things in 3D, leveling up the detail of each project and having a common data environment. So now we're moving to our second presentation. Allow me to introduce our next speaker for this morning. Our next speaker is a graduate of sustainable design from the University of Sydney, and he has a Bachelor of Civil Engineering and Structural Engineering from HKUSD and has 15 years of AEC experience. Our speaker specializes in computational optimization, parametric design, building information modeling, scan to BIM, BIM to field, AR, MR, and VR visualization, and AI aided design and sustainability. He has been a judge for the Building Smart Open BIM Awards last 2024 and an expert in the China Real Estate Association's Smart Construction Group. Our speaker has worked at Arup on major projects like the Beijing Universal Studios, Changsha Sky City, and the Beijing Daxing International Airport. He has co edited articles on digital design technology for the CTBUH and other publications. And we are honored to have our esteemed speaker this morning, Engineer Leo Zhang. Is the Customer Success Manager for APAC Indirect under Trimble AECO. So, Leo?
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to probably present our new features, new AI and smart automation features from Tekla 2025. And thank you for you introduce myself. A little bit more. In my past, when I was in Europe, I've been on several mega projects as a structural designer, BIM, and structural optimization expertise. So I've been on the Beijing Daxing Airport project, 800-meter tall Changsha Sky City, which is supposed to be taller than the Dubai Tower, but not really built yet. I was leader for the structural discipline for one segment in the Beijing Universal Studios theme park, and many more, also including Mexico new airport and so on. Okay, a quick outline of my presentation. New features from the Tekla structure 2025, including a number of AI power and smart automation features, and also Tekla structural designer and tests, which have better workflow with Revit, SketchUp, and other products. And at the end section, I will introduce two best practice case studies using Tekla and also Open BIM approach. And I will introduce a few of the BIM Spark International Open BIM Award projects using Tekla as well. One was international judge for 2023 and 2024. And maybe a little bit more of the Tekla BIM Awards. Okay, so team have already introduced our Trimble connected construction. So in this slide, we have a better idea of how Tekla product is placed in our whole life cycle. So from beginning, well, some of the projects that have very important for structure, Tekla may already appear in the conceptual or schematic design stage, but mostly will be used starting from the design and engineering stage for the detailing. And also we can do takeoff and estimations. We can make schedulings. We have a Tekla Power Fab for the fabrication and manufacturing. And also we have a Tekla model sharing for collaboration within the design team. And also if we have a broader team, we can use Trimble Connect as our common data environment to cooperate and with all the stakeholders, the owners, all the other disciplines, and so on. Okay, so firstly, probably introduce our new features. So first of all, I will stress a number of our new features will include this preview feature. It is a very, although it's called preview, but it's actually a complete to be used. But in order for us to better develop our product, we want your feedbacks so we can make it even better. Okay, so first of all, AI power features improve cloning, drawing from best matches, and we have better reliable numbering now. Okay, so first of all, we improve our existing cloning fabrication drawing. You can see that previously, if you clone, all the dimensions may overlap together. But now, with the assistance of AI, everything is smarter. You can see that all the dimensions have layout clearly. So you need minimum addition from the cloning and save a lot of time and effort and reducing a number of errors. You can see at the right side, we have some figures. There's a lot of reduction. Okay, we can see from the video with more straightforward. We reduce much more of the overlapping from the improved dimension and view placement. More samples, like in the previous release of Tekla, a lot of overlapping, you need a lot of human effort. But now everything is tidy and neat. A few more samples before you can see the overlappings. And now much better. So I believe people we use Tekla, we want more efficiency. So with each new features of our yearly release, we always want to maximize people's efficiency. Okay, so the next feature, we enhance our fabrication drawings with smart creation. I'll just quickly jump to our video, which is more straightforward. So it's all about efficiency when we're creating our drawings from parts, assembly, and cast units. So first of all, we create the first fabrication drawing. We can choose the members and click on the create fabrication drawing. And then AI will recommend settings for the use of the selected objects. You can select another setting file or accept the suggested top match. You can see from the drop-down menu. A single part object also get top matching setting suggested from the drawing. And Smart Create can suggest multiple most suitable setting files that you can choose from. Okay, so you can create more drawings when some drawing have already created or edited. Again, click on the create fabrication. AI will recommend drawing to use as templates for all the selected objects. And then we can quickly switch between the setting file or the drawing templates. And then every drawing template can be previewed. Yes, we always suggest you to preview a template if you this is the most right one, a suitable one before actual creation. And then Smart Create will now support a drawing template suggested from the single parts.
So yun yung identify ng mga asset do's and don'ts na dapat natin gawin pag nag-scan tayo ng post-it. Sabi nga natin, support to functions like
Okay, so that's the second. It will increase our productivity. It's really easy, quick to learn, and it's always reusable. Okay, so imagine we want to create all this 4 projects. We get all the drawings updated to the cloud collection, and AI will automatically classify them into libraries. So it will group the beams to beams, the columns to columns, and then uh, we start from new projects, and AI will find the similarity comparison from the group already grouping in the cloud collections for the single T slab or the double T slab, trusses, and beams. And then we'll find the best match and create new drawings based on that. Let's see the video. Okay, so create the collection from your company's accessible assets, and then add the drawings of the complete project to the collection. And then AI will do the magic. It will organize all the drawings into libraries of the similar assembly or units. And then we can view the drawing inside the libraries. It is very simple. And then you can also share the collections to your teammates. And then you can click on the AI cloud fabrication drawings to access all this collection in the cloud. And then you can create the drawings using the collection from the cloud. And then AI will find the best match library for each of the objects. And then AI picks the best match drawing inside the selected library and clone the new drawings from that. Yeah, that saves a lot of time and effort. Create documents from thousands of drawings from your existing projects. Normally you do it manually, but now always help of AI. Okay, so the third feature is new the better control and transparency. As usual, we'll perform the numbering feature. Select and check in the middle. And then choose it to accept the numbering process. And you can also number again after the model is changed. And you can reject the result before anything you want to fix. Yeah, select the part of the same overlapping series to find and fix them. You can adjust them to start the numbering as needed to avoid overlapping. And then numbering after drawing created as started. Filter the list to highlight the potential issues. Update the model with the correct drawings, reports, and fabrication files. You can see that we always want to reduce the human effort. So because human intellectual, we want to we use the time and effort for more important issues, for the management, for the design, and for the tedious all this complicating, we'll give them to AI and smart automation. Okay, so the next feature, Tekla user AI assistant. So previously, you can always check our knowledge base on our website, but now you can use the helpful usefulness of large language model to talk directly with our AI assistants to find all the answers to a question, any question on Tekla structure. Because previously you need to find the best keyword to most suitable thing from the search from our help center, but now everything is more user friendly. And another feature is also we're using AI assistants, the Tekla developer assistant. So again, previously you need to have some concrete programming background in order to make your own plugins. But however, now with the help of AI, because our users, we know what we really want to create a application, but now just help of AI, just tell directly what feature you want. For example, in this case, this macro create a 16 columns in a 4x4 grid with 4 meter spacing, and then AI will help give you the help, and you actually create a real extension that can be reused in the future projects. Okay, so next feature is our integrated step IGES export. We always make a number of updates on our interoperability, and we also have better real-time model-based connection between the construction experience. As Tim have already showed that our Trimble, we are very strong with laser scanning, so we have a better connection between the site and the office, between our hardware and software. And we can always enrich your model via better real-time data flow from Trimble Connect. You can now have status sharing and live collaborations. And also, you can have data flow of Trimble property sets, BCF topics, and linking documents. Okay, and we can always leverage or new Trimble reality capture platform. And now we'll also introduce our new clip box for better modification and view. And also renew layout manager. You can collaborate with the project surveyor and easy to integrate the model with the data to make the setting now. I'll quickly skip through this video. Okay, so next section, we have a unified design to detail and engineering workflow between Tekla Structure and Tekla Structure Designer. And also our analytic model workflow. And we have improved connection forces. You can get all these forces data now visible, and also with our API as well to access using extension or to communicate with other softwares. We update our smart 3D link, and also Bentley Stats Pro, eTabs, SAP 2000s. All these are bi-directional link between the Tekla structure and all the softwares. Okay, so next section, or new Tekla structural designer and Tekla text version 2025. Also, we update our connected workflow between the analysis and engineering design for Tekla structure, between Revit, between SketchUp, and other detailing ideas, Statica. Okay, so first of all, update enhanced integration with Autodesk Revit. And now you can directly have the analytic model generated within Revit. So you don't need to do a lot of extra effort. You can see that because normally or an analytic model are very different from BIM model, but now this can be um, generated directly. Okay, updates for the idea statica. We know in our users, a number of people may use a combination of statica for the detailing, for example, for the K brace or A brace, and also support the Euro code, the North American code, and Australian design code. Okay, and the updates for the analytic model workflow and SketchUp reference file, because you will want to see your projects, the steel model or the concrete models in collaboration with the architectural or the other discipline, the existing sites, so we can have a better collaboration with the architects and reduce a lot of reworks. Okay, we also updated to have a wall edge release. It is useful for the masonry wall design and also apply meshes walls. So you can have the release, and also it works in a combination with our new model for the podium structure design. And this is a very new feature. It's called the Structural Panda. It helps our engineers to optimize our building design based on the carbon and cost. And they can generate a full range of possible design solutions that can for low carbon solution. Okay, so next session, case studies. Uh, I'll go quickly because it's already a lot of time. Um, So this project is actually a full school using prefabricated steel. But for this case study, we're only mentioning the school gymnasium, which is a full use of steel structures. It's very interesting. Actually, it's a combination of SketchUp plus Tekla for beam-based design. So the story is uh, the architects who learned or a new advanced workflow using SketchUp as a center model for the beam design. So he also taught the MEP, the plumbing, the fire protection, the HVAC, and electrical discipline to model 3D design for the discipline directly from SketchUp. And for the structural, they use a China analysis model software, PKPM, for the analysis design, and all the information is transferred to Tekla structure for the beam detailing modeling. And it can also export to SKP as a reference file and to generate the DWG drawing directly for construction drawing. But all the other disciplines are using layout from SketchUp. And they also use an extension called estimator, PB3 and 3 SKENG for the quantity takeoff, use animator for the construction simulation sequencing, InScale and Lumion for the rendering and animation, and all this information. So for the structure, you can control directly to guide the programming of CNC robots, and then everything is installed for the fabrication on site. So it's a very comprehensive, all discipline design-oriented BIM projects. You can see the construction sequencing animation. So if you are a BIM consultant, you're working collaboration with general contraction, or if you're luckily you're having an EPC projects. So this kind of workflow is very useful. They reduce a lot of communication effort and everything could be seen directly. As you can see here, even the detailed assembly, you can make simulation. So we don't really need the construction drawing anymore. Everything you can see from the video for sequencing or the dimension in 3D model. Okay, so next best practice is from Shanghai Tianhua Design Institute. Also, beam-based design workflow. They use SketchUp for architects. YJK is a Chinese analysis software for structural analysis. They use Revit for the MEP. They use Tekla for the prefabricated concrete. But everything is using FC format, open beam approach for the confederated model. And all the effort, it's a lot of effort before that, but it will give you automated construction drawing, quantity takeoff, and clash detection. So all the things worth it. And actually, it's a very broad ecosystem map that I haven't really explained. It may also include for sustainable design, for detailed quantity takeoff, but everything is using FC as intermediate. So you can see that the architectural model is using a combination of SketchUp model and for also other components to and then translate it to FC for the integrated model. And also architectural model will be combined with the structural 3D model for the calculation and analysis. Okay, so for the prefab is where they use Tekla. Also integrated, translated between FC because the prefabricated model also have integration with the interior decoration. And they made their own collaboration CDE, but you can also use always use Trimble Connect, which is basically same kind of like methodology for all the discipline, all the models to be integrated together. Okay, so they have a automatic generation from the architectural, the structural, and the prefabricated concrete drawings. Everything integrated together. So all the drawings will be created from the 3D model. Okay, so what they do is, first of all, they will decompose the shear wall from the analytical model. So to break down the columns from the shear wall, and the purple part will be the prefabricated shear wall module. And it will be integrated with the insulation as well as the floor plates. All this will be also prefabricated. And also for the non-load bearing external walls, we also use PC. Okay, so when everything is designed in Tekla, they have a intelligent design base to check all the local codes, and also parametric for the reinforcements design. All this is based on their automation extension on top of Tekla. So they save a lot of tedious time and reworks. Everything is automated. And also have some smart tools. For example, the rebar have automatic avoiding for the openings or for the holes. And also avoiding of reinforcement at the beam and column joints. Okay, so all this effort for the automatic document recommendation generations. So all the previous efforts were worth it because normally we also have a lot of time. For their case, they have a 50% efficiency increase, which is they gave for a very conservative number, actually much more. It's about 50% to even uh, 10 times more. So all this will have better communication for the fast variation and updates. And also in the end, we'll connect it uh, to the fabrication factories. In their case, they use PXML uh, for the progress software, but we can always use Tekla PowerFab, which kind of a similar workflow. Okay, so in the next section, I'll quickly go through some Building Smart International Open Beam Awards in 2023. This is the Helsinki Airport in Finland. They use Trimble Connect, Tekla for the civil and Nova points. You can see that for actually all the disciplines and analysis, they're using Open Beam approach via FC 2x3. And this project is in Colombia, Bogota. It's done by a Chinese harboring engineering firm. They use also Tekla for structure in collaboration with a number of other software. It's a very huge project. You can see that there are a lot of stations along the whole metro lines. And this is also a award-winning project in Hong Kong, the Katai Sport Park. By Hipping Engineering Company. They use Tekla in combination of a number of other softwares, also via IFC. Okay, and I'll quickly go through a number of Tekla Beam Award projects. This is a winner for the construction award. You can see it's quite impressive. It's a movable connecting bridge. And connecting fabrication. This is also in the construction award category. Yeah, everything modeled precisely to LD 500 and delivered as designed. Okay, and also Seattle Aquarium. This is also very interesting. You use a combination of Tekla Structural and SketchUp. And SketchUp is also used for the construction planning and setting out for all the construction vehicle circulation, for the phases planning, for all these fences, and in collaboration with Trimble Connect and using Trimble Field Link for the beam robotic load layout. Okay, and a number of other organic shape projects, all quite fascinating. And okay, and that's all for my presentation. And hope this will help with everyone's efficiency. And please try our AI feature and give us feedback. Okay, and thank you all.
Thank you very much, Leo. And what's very good about what you've showed us is that the technology that you actually used in China to build all those advanced cities and infrastructures is also available here in the Philippines, and that's I think what we would like to give as a message to our audience in this webinar, and that's what we'll be basically showing them. But again, thank you very much for sharing us your presentation. So we have a very quick third presentation, and that will be coming from me. So allow me to uh, share my screen here. Okay, so much has been shown by Team and Leo during the first two presentation, and my presentation would basically ground us to where would we start with the whole connected construction workflow. Basically, the connected construction workflow would be where we want to go, or most of you would have been started already, and I would say that a very good tool to have to start the whole connected construction workflow would be SketchUp. Leo has shown us a lot of projects that was delivered with SketchUp as the starting point. But then, since we all know that SketchUp is the most affordable tool in the market for what it delivers, we're assuming that a lot of you already has it in your desktop and you're already using it. So we're jumping to the next solution to kick off this connected construction workflow, and that would be Tekla structures. And Leo and Sir Team has shown us how Tekla structure works in the entire process, and this is basically the core at which you deliver the LOD, or the level of detail that you need. But I will not be talking much about the technical aspect of Tekla structures. We've shown you a lot of videos already. Um, we've shown you a lot of workflows and sample projects. But what I would like to be of help in my presentation is how, if you are the decision maker of the company, you're going to make the decision to invest in this solution, and if not, how, if you're not the decision maker, how are you going to create the justification so that you can already start leveling up the level of detail or the level at which you deliver your projects. So I'll be talking about unlocking higher return on investment in construction with Tekla structures. So we understand that in the construction industry there are a lot of issues, concerns, and I'll be presenting for my first slide the stakes in construction today. This is what keeps most of the construction companies, most of our projects not uh, elevating to the level that it should be, is because we're always dealing with the rising cost of materials, and because of the inflation, we all that we can do is to optimize the utilization of the materials. Our deadline is always set to yesterday, last week, and we're always trying to catch up with a lot of the projects. In fact, in some of the research we've read and seen, is that um, only around 80% of all projects are delayed, and we also encounter a lot of rework during the process. During the first presentation that your team showed us, there was this bad corner in his graph, and most of that is attributed to error-driven rework, wherein you have to manage your RFIs, your drawings, your change orders, and having a large team that are actually fragmented. So this is basically what's keeping us from moving forward. And so for these concerns, we want to introduce a solution that would allow you to at least, if not eliminate, mitigate some of these concerns that we have. And that is with the introduction of Tekla structures. So And every time that we introduce a solution to address those issues that we have in the project, we talk about the metrics that would be the basis of our solution. And for us in Tekla, we only think that there's only one metric that matters if we are to introduce any solution in our operations in construction, and that is the ROI. So you can perceive the ROI to be the value of your benefit against your cost. So that's one way that you could measure that. Or if your solution would actually address the shortages, Sir Team has mentioned that uh, at present we are running short of labor, and a lot should be done in automating the tasks so that we could be enhancing the efficiency, allowing smaller teams to deliver precise and high quality construction projects on time. So it could be a measure of the return if we are able to do that. Solutions that would allow us to have fewer errors, less RFIs, and be able to manage those changes that are introduced on the course of construction. So that could also be a metric. But at the end of the day, what we want is to be able to deliver our project on time and basically on budget. So these are the things that would relate to the return on investment that we're talking about in terms of Tekla structures. So what we need to invest upfront, basically you'd think of how much would the software cost, and is it something that we can afford? Well, of course, for SketchUp it's very cheap. For Tekla, it's not just about the software, but the first thing that you must have, of course, is the license to be able to use the software. So first consider is the licensing option. And what's important in this phase is that you talk to our team, because there are a number of configurations and solutions that are within the software that we could advise on, so that you will not be putting up a lot of money for something that you'd probably might be needing at the moment with other configuration. So we can help with that. And you also need to consider investing in the training. So it's good to have uh, an advanced fighter plane, but without a good pilot, it would be nothing. It would not deliver the outcome that you want. So you need to train your pilot to drive your plane. In very similarly, you need to have or to get your engineers trained properly on how to use the software. You may say that there are a lot of videos that you can watch on YouTube, but if you are trained in such structure that would allow you to deliver and more efficiently use the software, it would be a great advantage for the company, and it would be giving you more speed in terms of the return on your investment. And of course, you'd be wanting to invest in a tool that would allow you to integrate with your workflow. Leo and Sir Team has shown us earlier that we are an open BIM advocate, and the solution that we have integrates with almost all the solutions out there, including Autodesk solutions, Bentley solutions, even the Chinese structural software solutions that Leo has showed us. So you want to have a tool that allows you to integrate with all the discipline, from architectural to your MEP, and to everything else in the workflow. And that's where you actually scale the business by putting in more and more investment into what drives the efficiency for us to be able to deliver projects more efficiently. So much has been said, but this you're seeing the image of at least the companies that has put their money where their mouth is. Initially, they're just aiming at delivering a connected construction workflow. Now they are all subscribers to our solution, and we conducted actually a survey from these clients, and there are three major advantages that we thought that they shared that Tekla structures has gave them. First is productivity, and the productivity they're telling us is a productivity that pays. So I'll be giving the average reaction that they've had based from the survey that we conducted. 50% of our clients tells us that there is 50% efficiency gain or improvement over traditional 2D methods. And if you're still doing your projects in 2D, you might want to consider getting the same advantage in the 3D. As your team has mentioned, also, you have to be staying more in the 3D environment because 3D is the next big thing, or in fact, it is what everybody is actually doing right now. So if you're still doing 2D, you're probably late by 5 to 10 years in the construction industry. Our clients are saying also that there's a 48 times productivity boost, especially in the steel segment, where 100% of the notable companies that are in steel fabrication in the Philippines are already using our Tekla software. And what it delivers for those companies also 100% automation in terms of drawing and uh, reports generation. So apart from the productivity, precision is a major impact on the delivery of the project. So you're seeing an image at the top of my slide wherein it shows a rebar with all the details. This is a cast in place project. In the midsection, you'll see fully detailed steel project, and on the last image, you're seeing a fully detailed precast concrete project. So what it gives our client is actually the precision that prevents pay. They're able to see with uh, the constructible models that we have 90% reduction in design errors. And of course, since Tekla is the only software that delivers LOD 500 out of the box, it is very useful to them because they already use the reports to make create the order to the suppliers. For instance, in the CIP currently, our clients are generating actual reports that they just give to cut and bend suppliers like Steel Asia, and then Steel Asia delivers the cut and bend material to site for construction. So it produces less waste, and uh, contractors most especially has control over the cost of the materials that they're going to use in the project. And lastly, uh, we of course wanted to show you some of the projects, or two of the projects that would be reflective of the projects that we are delivering here in the Philippines with Tekla Structures. The first one is coming from Makati Development Corporation, and it was testified by the BIM manager. So this is the image of the project. This is Viento Voyager, wherein Makati Development Corporation has registered 75% time savings in the creation of just the structural model for this particular project. If you know engineer corpus of MDC, she's telling us that modeling of the whole structure in Tekla Structural Designer took only 9 working days from December 19 to 28 of 2017. And this is a process that would take months using other software. So this is the project that they designed in 9 days time, and this project has won them awards. In fact, 2023 they were awarded with the American Concrete Institute of one of the having the best concrete design project. So, and imagine if the Ayala or the MDC is using this since 2017, what would they have achieved by now? And they are continuing to use our solution. So they deliver more projects. In fact, I think 100% of the projects that they're doing is with Tekla structures. So they do multi tower on a podium with 15 stories. They do the same for 23 stories, for 40 stories. The image that you're seeing here for the 40 story is actually the project in uh, Ayala, Ayala Triangle. This is the ATG Tower, and there's another condo for 48 stories. So this is why MDC is unstoppable in the delivery of these high-end projects that you see in the skylines of both Metro Manila and other advanced provinces that we have in the Philippines. So this is proof that Tekla Structures helps and delivers the output and profitability that construction companies would want also to gain. So those are for buildings. So we've picked one success story also for the infrastructure, because Tekla structures is something that you could also use for infrastructure. You've seen a lot of examples in buildings, but here is a live example of how we helped the Acciona DMCI project deliver the preliminary model, and which is, if you're creating 3D models in Tekla structures, your preliminary model plus your change orders is also your as-built model, and that's how detailed we've gone through in assisting this project. So this is a short video. Let me just let me play the video for you. So this is what we did for them. Yeah, I'll just turn off the audio. So this has not been constructed yet, but this is basically one of the support um models that we provided to them during the onboarding process. So we've assisted in and trained them in creating the station. So the image at the upper right is actually uh, the actual station that will be built, and then what you're seeing on the video is the foundation and the columns. So this is an ongoing project. We've done this a couple of months back, and this is how detailed it is. So we were able to help this project by giving them all the advantages that they can get from Tekla structures in cast in place concrete. So this model is created precisely based on the design intent. You can even see the spacers that are applied in the model, the couplers, everything is there. So I believe they're quite happy with the output that we delivered together for the DOTR. And, and imagine the number of rebars in this project. We also assisted them in how they are going to actually manage the clashing of the rebar uh, in this project. Yep. So if you are dealing with this kind of project, you'd appreciate the level of detail that was put into creating this model, which we will all enjoy after it will be operational by 2029. That's at least the target. So we'll be assisting them until such time that this project is delivered to the Filipino people. Diba, may konting politics doon. So yeah, I'm just skipping on it. There you go. Okay. So this is another one, and I'll just quote and highlight what the BIM manager has commented during our assistance with this project. According to Mamdar, who's the BIM manager, design issues can be raised to the structural designer and resolve the issue accordingly prior to construction and order of rebars. So if you have very precise quantities before you get to order the rebar, a lot will be saved, and we know how much a kilogram of scrap would cost right now. And if we have tons and tons of scratch, then that would be a revenue that we're not getting out of the project. So Tekla is able to save not just time but also a lot of investments from the Filipino purse. Yeah, with the help of Tekla structures. Yeah. So what you're seeing, we've created this model as well. We've trained them how to do it, and I think they produced around 3,600 of this units, and it's being laid out right now in the project, and you'll be seeing uh, the output already as you traverse uh, the roads leading to this project. So this is the NSCR2, which is Tekla is playing a great part in. Okay. Now, going back, those are just two of the examples, and 100% of the clients that we have has expressed very good things about Tekla structures. Nevertheless, we're not saying that all of them actually benefited in terms of the implementation or was entirely successful in implementation. At least 80% of our advanced beam users see positive ROI. And of course, we cannot just blame it on the software, but it takes a lot of variables like users. Uh, Users of Tekla structures are very in demand, so sometimes they invest in the software, and after the training, people would go out. So some of the reason why there are losses, but it's very minimal. With the assistance of VTS and our support team, we still have very positive reviews from our client and as well as from the actual software itself. So why Tekla? It's very simple. We support multi-material. Tekla is able to already deliver models that you can use in the entire project life cycle. So from the design up to facilities management, you'd be able to utilize the models that you're going. We seamlessly integrate with different solutions, and it's already industry trusted. As I've mentioned, the biggest and the most notable firms in the country are using our solution already. So if you want long-term games, fewer errors, faster project delivery times, and higher productivity, which ultimately delivers the ROI you need for any investment that you put into the technology, Tekla Structures would be the most appropriate software to do that for you. So I we with the remaining time, we would be happy to entertain questions, but that's it for me. And if you want to make it happen, you just give us a call, chat with us, engage us. So that would be all. So that's it for us. If you're happy with the presentation, please give us a thumbs up so that we know that you're here, you stayed with us. Yeah, thank you very much. We're getting a lot of thumbs up right now. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, and keep safe during the day, keep warm, and uh, relax. Thank you very much, Sir Team and Sir Leo, and we hope to
Thank
you'll
you.
join us again in our future presentations.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.